A short story. Suzanne. The snow fell hard. On the ground it was 1/2 meter high. To many people in the area, this was the worst snowstorm for years. It had started a week ago and hadn't subsided. The temperature was in the minuses, which made the roads lethal to travel on. This was far from ideal. The children, on the other hand, didn't want it to end, because the schools were closed. With the weather being so horrendous, it would take at least an hour by car to get to work. She wore a thick winter coat and walked swiftly to the vehicle, which by luck, was parked close to the house. After clearing the windows of the snow that had fallen the night before, she got in quickly, starting the engine. Before long, warmth was felt from the heater. That was much better. Maggie had cleared the drive the best she could when she got home from work last night, but with the endless snow, it was always a losing battle. She checked the front and side mirrors, then reversed the car down the long drive. Once on the road, Maggie made her way to the traffic lights ahead. There wasn't a single vehicle in front. The lights changed, and she proceeded with caution. At another set of lights, she turned left, then carried on reluctantly. Ahead of her, about 20 meters away, stood a person, wearing a black hoodie. As Maggie got nearer, she observed the person, signaling her to stop. She pushed her foot down softly on the pedal and the vehicle came to a halt. Maggie opened the passenger door and asked the now recognized young woman, "Are you okay? Would you like a lift somewhere? It's freezing out here." She looked so much like someone she knew years ago. Regret was felt. "That would be great," replied the girl. "You can drop me near a bus stop, that would be fine." She got in and closed the door. Maggie noticed the girl had jet black hair and a very attractive face. She was probably a college student, as she wasn't wearing a school uniform. "So where are you heading?" she asked. The girl replied, "My name's Gemma, very nice to meet you, and thank you for giving me a lift. I need to catch a bus to the city, I'm starting my new job today, but this weather hasn't helped at all. My parents moved here about a week ago, I'm still trying to get to know the place. I was making my way to the bus stop when you came along. Thank God you did, I was absolutely freezing." Maggie liked her straight away. She understood what it was like being in a new place, not knowing anyone, starting a job for the first time. Maggie said, "All my pleasure, Gemma. Very nice to meet you. I'm afraid I've got to head to work, but I could give you a lift to the bus stop. Near the stop is a supermarket, just in case you wanted a bite to eat, or to get out of the blizzard." Gemma looked at her with a smile, answering, "Yes, that sounds good. I missed breakfast this morning." Maggie softly pressed her foot down, and the car drifted along. It was difficult to make out the side of the road, because the snow had built up considerably. Maggie had to be at work by 9 a.m., which shouldn't be a problem, as there didn't seem to be as much traffic as first expected. The bus stop wasn't too far, and it was in the same direction to where she was heading. The clouds above were heavy, promising more atrocious weather. "So, what do you do as a job?" Gemma asked with interest on her face. "As I haven't worked out what I want to do with my life yet." Maggie's job wasn't the most exciting if the truth be told, and answered, "I work in insurance, it's dull, the people are okay. It's a job." "At least you have a job," said the girl. "True," was all that Maggie replied, knowing she was lucky compared to many. Suddenly Gemma shouted, "What's that man doing in front?" Maggie slammed her foot down on the brake. The vehicle stopped. "God, you nearly gave me a heart attack." "What man? I see nothing," she said. The girl turned to her with a smirk on her face, then answered, "Guess what I've got in my pocket, Maggie? It's a little present for you." Maggie didn't see the funny side at all. "Why did you say there was a man in front? Were you lying, young lady? If so, why?" The girl looked at her in disgust, which unnerved Maggie greatly. Why was she acting like this? Gemma laughed like it was a game, and said, "Guess what present is in my pocket? I bought it earlier, just for you. I knew you would travel along this road today, and I knew you would stop the car for me, as I probably reminded you of someone you used to know. You remember Suzanne, don't you?" Maggie froze with fear. How did the girl know about that? She thought back to the terrible events which had unfolded years before. She and Suzanne were the best of friends. They also worked in the same factory for a little while. Her friend had given birth to a beautiful daughter, and things couldn't have gone better for her. Then one day, tragedy struck in the cruelest of ways. Maggie looked at Gemma with sadness. It all made perfect sense. Then she said tearfully, "I know you grew up without a mother, as you are the spitting image of her, but it was an accident." "Why did you kill her?" yelled the girl, as she tried to grab Maggie's hair. Maggie fought her off, and pressed her face against the window, saying, "It was an accident, a silly accident. I regret not helping her. I think about her every day. She was my best friend. I need you to know the truth. You need to understand what happened." "I don't believe you," Gemma shouted. She got hold of the handle and the door opened. She got out, and ran into a nearby woodland. For a long time now, she'd been fantasizing about meeting the woman who had destroyed everything. Most of her life, she'd lived in foster homes. Her father was a worthless drunk, and the rest of the family wasn't interested in bringing her up. The trees surrounded her. Gemma fell to her knees. She sobbed. Maggie needed to find her. It was all her fault. What a mess. She left the car on the road, heading to the trees. "Where are you, Gemma?" she shouted. The snow was deep, treacherous, but Maggie carried on regardless. In the distance, she saw the girl on the ground, crying uncontrollably. This broke Maggie's heart. Maggie approached her with caution. "A meter from her," she said, "it was an accident, Gemma. I swear to you, that's all it was. We were drunk and young. We got into an argument about a boy we fancied. I pushed her, because I was angry. Your mother, my friend, died instantly." Suzanne smacked her head when she fell. "It was the worst day of my life, I swear to you. It was just an accident, I didn't mean any of it. Please forgive me, I beg you." Gemma stood up and faced her. Anger expressed on her face. "I'm sorry, but I can't forgive you." Maggie saw Gemma getting hold of something from inside her coat pocket. When her hand appeared, she held a gun. "Please don't," Maggie begged. The girl smiled, then replied, "Are you ready for your present?" Out of instinct, Maggie ran as fast as she could, back to the car. She heard 2 shots, as they echoed noisily through the trees. She heard the girl cry out in frustration. Finally, she'd made it to the vehicle, and got in. Her mind was all over the place. She needed to get out of there. Maggie turned the key, slamming her foot down on the pedal, causing the vehicle to go up the road too quickly. The next day, the police returned to the scene, where there had been a fatal car accident, which resulted in a woman in her 40s losing her life. While the police searched the area, they were shocked to discover the body of a young female in the nearby woodlands. Cause of death, a single gunshot wound to the head, and clasped in her left hand was a note, which read, "I miss you, Mum. And I'll see you again soon. Love from Gemma, your beloved daughter." The end.